Isaiah Thomas made his debut last night. Cavs can really be encouraged to have another guy, whether he's gonna be starting, but for now he's coming off the bench. They have another guy that he's a playmaker. He can get to the foul line. I believe last year he averaged almost 10 free throws a game. So they need another guy that could create for the team, attack the basket. A la Kyrie Irving. But this time you have a guy 5'9", who he knows how to manipulate the officials, and he is deceptively quick. And you got another guy that could potentially average 30 points a game. I mean, that's beautiful. That's something you want to add to your roster. Though the Cavs' problems have never been scoring, it's good to have another scorer to mask some of the defensive problems that they have. You saw that in the NBA Finals where, it's tough for them to defend, but they kind of try to make up for that by scoring more. So, what I took away from his debut, Cavs are winning the East because the Cavs have the most depth in the East, and they have LeBron James, and then they have Dwayne Wade. It's just too much depth in their lineup for them not to win. If they don't win the East, that's a huge disappointment. See what I'm saying? That's a huge upset. But to me, from what I saw, is they have enough depth to run through the East again. I mean, it's when you add Isaiah Thomas back in the lineup, Tristan Thompson's back in the lineup, Shumpert, J.R. Smith. You have bodies, and you have length with Jeff Green and Jay Crowder. So they're in really good shape. A lot of people were upset that the Cavs were not playing Isaiah Thomas versus the what is it, Boston Celtics. It's like, what for? You want to slowly and gradually bring him back into the lineup, so further down the line when it comes playoff time, he's 100% ready to go. Because they're taking a big risk trying to play him back-to-back games and all this other stuff if he's not 100%. At 19 minutes, he scored 17 points. So, I mean, that's very encouraging. And that's a sigh of relief for LeBron James because you got to understand the Cavaliers stake their whole future for the rest of the season on the return of Isaiah Thomas. So that's a great sign. I think watching him play, that was very encouraging. And you just see how the floor opens up. There's more spacing on the floor. There's another ball handler on the floor. LeBron doesn't have to play point guard as much, even though we all know that's what he likes to do. So we'll see how this goes. But I like what I saw from him, and I like how the team played, especially like playing against the Blazers. Like that's kind of like a mock game against like what you'll face against any Western Conference opponent. You know what I'm saying, in the finals, which is like high offense, speed, stuff like that. Another thing we want to explore is the James Harden injury. Now he's going to be out for 2 weeks with a hamstring injury. Is a grade 2 hamstring injury. It's a big deal, man. You're losing a 32-point scorer, the league's leading scorer, in my opinion, the league's leading NBA MVP candidate. And now the Rockets have fell out of first place, and you have teams like the Spurs and the Wolves, which are 3 and 4 respectively, gunning for the second spot. And Chris Paul, although I love him, he's a point general. Some people call him a point god or whatever. I love him, and I think his game is strong. But you gotta remember this: Chris Paul has been in and out of the lineup himself. So there's gonna be some nights when he needs to take some nights off. And I looked at their schedule. They have some tough games. They got the Warriors twice. They got the Blazers. They got the Pistons. They got some tough teams that play some good defense and that can score the basketball. So I think these next 2 weeks will say a lot about the team, more about their bench depth, their other guys are how they will step up. Because everybody's like, oh, next man up, next man up. But I've never seen this team bounce back or have to deal with adversity of this kind where James Harden is not in the lineup. They dealt with Dwight Howard not in the lineup, but that wasn't even a big factor because Dwight Howard didn't really score much for them. He just basically rebounded and blocked shots. James Harden did everything for the team: score, facilitate the offense, just everything except for like be a defensive stopper, rebound the basketball. He did all that for the team. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I know if Chris Paul is up for the challenge, but that schedule, they got to play the Clippers. The Clippers are Clippers on a 4-game win streak, so this is gonna be tough for them. We'll see, but this could potentially knock them to the 4 spot or even the 5 spot. Like, I mean, these these next 2 weeks will tell a lot about Mike D'Antoni's system and if they can win games. They have some tough teams up ahead, so we'll see how it is. This is, in my opinion, it's not looking too good for them. This is Vlad from Hoops Junction, Hoops Meets Hoopla. Peace.